In the heart of Washington, D.C., beneath the marble glow of Capitol Hill, a storm was brewing, one that would claim 2 innocent lives, spark national outrage, and leave behind a trail of haunting questions. This is the story of Eric Tarpinian-Jachym, a 21-year-old congressional intern whose promising life ended in a spray of gunfire, and Zoey Kelley, a 17-year-old girl whose death just days later deepened the tragedy. At the center of both cases stands one named Naqwan Lucas, the third suspect whose arrest would only unravel deeper mysteries. It all began on a humid summer night, June 30th, 2025. The streets around 7th and N Street NW were alive with laughter, lights, and music. Then, in seconds, everything changed. Dozens of bullets shattered the air. Eric Tarpinian-Jachym, an intern for a U.S. congressman, fell in the crossfire. A woman and a 16-year-old boy were wounded. When police arrived, they found bullet casings scattered like confetti and broken glass, reflecting the glow of red and blue lights. Eric wasn't the target. He was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time, a victim of a gunfight that spiraled out of control. Just 4 days later, on July 4th, fireworks turned to gunfire again. 17-year-old Zoey Kelley was found shot and killed on Benning Road, NE. The 4th of July, meant to celebrate freedom, became another night of mourning. 2 lives, 2 different worlds, but one chilling connection. Investigators would later charge Naqwan Lucas, already suspected in Eric's murder, in Zoey's killing too. When news broke that a congressional intern had been murdered, outrage spread like wildfire. Capitol Hill mourned. Reporters swarmed police briefings. Public officials promised swift justice. Within weeks, police arrested 2 17-year-olds, Kelvin Thomas Jr. and Jalen Lucas, charging them as adults with first-degree murder. But one suspect remained missing, Naqwan Lucas, the alleged third gunman. Authorities called him armed and dangerous. Flyers offering a $50,000 reward were posted across the city. His face appeared on screens and social media feeds, but he seemed to vanish into thin air. Was he hiding nearby, protected by someone? Or had he already slipped far beyond the city limits? Then today, officials confirmed his arrest. On October 30th, 2025, Naqwan Lucas was taken into custody, ending a months-long manhunt. But his arrest doesn't close the case. If anything, it widens the questions. For those who knew Eric, the pain was immeasurable. He was smart, driven, and kind. He'd moved to Washington to serve, to learn, to make a difference. A congressman called him a bright light extinguished far too soon. His friends remembered his humor, his compassion, his dream of shaping a better country. For Zoey's family, grief turned to disbelief. Their daughter, an honor student, a friend to everyone, was taken without reason. One moment she was home celebrating the 4th of July. The next, she was gone. Her death exposed how easily tragedy could strike in neighborhoods long ignored by those in power. And so, a community asked, how can 2 young people, one from the halls of Congress, one from the heart of D.C., end up as victims of the same nightmare? Police believe the shootings were gang-related, part of an ongoing feud between neighborhood crews. But the deeper question still lingers. How did 2 innocent lives get caught in the middle? Was Eric's death mistaken identity? Was Zoey's murder retaliation? Or was it something more complex? Something yet undiscovered? Investigators combed through phone records, ballistic data, and hours of surveillance footage. But evidence was fragmented, key footage corrupted, and witnesses reluctant to talk. How this happened in one of the most surveilled cities in America? Why were teenagers in possession of high-powered rifles? And how many red flags went unnoticed before it was too late? Eventually, prosecutors revealed fragments of the puzzle. A stolen Acura used in the drive-by shooting, more than 79 shell casings collected at the scene, and ballistic matches linking both homicides. But even with Lucas now facing charges, the full story remains murky. What was the true motive? Who gave the orders? Was this senseless violence, or part of a larger pattern that still hasn't been exposed? Since his arrest, Lucas is scheduled for arraignment, charged with premeditated first-degree murder, while armed in both cases. The public waits as court filings begin to filter out, yet many believe the deeper web of conspiracy stretches beyond the teens. Why were two crimes linked by dates and suspect, but not fully linked by motive or police narrative? Until every detail is revealed, this remains one of Washington's most haunting unresolved tragedies. A reminder that even in the city of justice, darkness still lingers in the alleys between power and silence. If you believe every victim deserved their story told, subscribe to this channel, hit like, and turn on notifications. Because every view keeps the spotlight on cases that others forget. Because somewhere out there, in the silence between headlines and courtrooms, the truth is waiting to be found. This is a story of Naqwan Lucas, Eric Tarpinian-Jachym, and Zoey Kelley. 3 names tied together by tragedy and still waiting for justice.